And we should be live. All right. Hey, folks, thanks for showing up tonight. It's 4 out of 6 doing the Friday night gun chat. Tonight's subject's going to be about subcompacts and compact pistols and revolvers, that we carry and have carried in the past. Appreciate any questions from the panel. I will be trying to monitor the YouTube chat or YouTube window as well as the gun channel. So by all means, give us any questions. We're going to do some introductions. We'll do left to right. Mr. Yankee Marshall.
Hello.
All right. The humble Yankee Marshall has made his announcement. G-Webs.
Even though I am adamantly against any kind of a small firearm, I joined the chat tonight.
There you go.
That's the person that owns more NAA guns than anybody in this chat.
Mr. Tac Daddy, who's gearing it up. All right. Luke.
One bad Marine here, representing Caltech evidently tonight.
Mr. Clark.
Sorry, dogs. Shit.
Hey, guys.
All right. And we have, was it Sandy?
Yeah, some guy in Sandy on YouTube. What's up, people?
What's going on? Thanks for joining the chat. Stone Guy.
Yep, Stone Guy 223. Appreciate everybody tuning in.
Stone Guy, but we'll be reading the chat tonight for the questions, folks.
Apparently I missed that one tonight.
There you go. All right, so I'm Mitch 6 OPU. You know I am if you're watching chat already. Okay, let's start it off. Wow. Again, I like to do this open if we can.
Do we want to start off with defining what we think, not necessarily what industry thinks, is the difference between a compact and a subcompact? Because the lines are really blurred with manufacturers, if you ask me.
Okay. All right, let's start off with what do you guys think is the number one, the top 3 subcompact pistols that people carry or you've carried as well?
So just pistols, not revolvers.
Glock 19.
Okay, hold on. Okay, well, do you want to do them both in a separate category, or do you rather just throw them all in one bit there?
I'm just clarifying because you say pistol, I don't think revolver. So
it's all the same. Okay, both of them all in one bit. I just think it's not going to acknowledge the revolvers. I like to classify them.
No, because I would be willing to bet one of the as far as small guns are concerned, the J-frame Smith & Wesson is probably one of the most carried small guns out there. Because so many old guys over 40 that carry them, and so many of the people that carry are guys over 40.
Now, did you say subcompact or compact?
I said subcompact.
I would consider a J-frame a subcompact because they're tiny.
How much smaller are you going to get than a J-frame?
Oh, yeah.
I would say it's probably like a J-frame, a Glock baby Glocks, and then I don't know what I would put as third. It'd be hard.
Well, we got to get the Glock 20.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that's what she said when I said it'd be hard.
I was trying to figure out a way to include Luke's thing in there, but nobody else heard Luke's thing, so.
Yeah, I know. For the people listening out there, listening that didn't get the advantage of hearing the before chat, Luke said that he can make it without Luke, and I just want to say my hat's off to him. That takes a man.
And the stepladder.
Yeah, and a stepladder, as Edge pointed out. Yes.
Scoreboard.
Yeah. It was definitely pertaining to ARs, but it was definitely platform.
Okay.
Just roll with it.
What do you think about the MMP subcompact 9mm?
Yeah, they're probably up there. I don't know if as many people carry those as they do, like baby Glocks. But
well, what do you consider the shield?
The shield, the shield, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, by all means, is that I understand it's a compact. Is that correct?
I think it's a subcompact.
Yeah, what happened to who came up with the idea in the beginning of defining what a compact and a subcompact is? Because that's important if you're going to start calling a shield just a compact. Come on.
Yeah.
If you consider a shield a compact, then there's hardly any subcompacts on the planet.
Right.
And you got like an XDS, it's very small for a 45 caliber gun, but I wouldn't call it a subcompact by any means.
Oh yeah, XDS would
I
definitely
think
be a
that you take
subcompact.
your, since Edging can't do it, I'm going to suggest we take your full-size firearm, so Glock 22, Glock 17, Beretta, whatever, the full size, whatever they consider the standard size, like an issue kind of firearm in 1911, it falls in there, right? And
Yeah.
then your compact is where they chop an inch off or whatever of each
Be
side, the
like a
grip
Glock
and the barrel.
19.
So the whatever, like a medium size, and then they usually take another inch off and make it a subcompact. So in a, what I'm not 1911 fluent. That's a commander and a officer.
Officer.
When you
Yeah.
So officer is the smallest 1911, a commander is the middle, and the full size there's issue size. So on a Glock it's the 17, 19, and 26 unless you change calibers, and on the Smith we got a full size. We have a compact, right? Because that's all they sell. And then they sell a shield, which is basically a subcompact, I would think.
Exactly.
So they
That's
consider the 9C to be their compact then.
Correct. They only make
Yeah.
two sizes. Well, they make two. They make the standard size and they make a small size. They're not like Glock where they have two sub sizes.
There's no
They have
intermediate.
larger sizes, right? There's just a full size and a compact. Period.
Yeah.
And there's other companies that do that. I don't know enough about SIGs, but I don't think there's like three sizes of every SIG either, right? I know there's not three sizes of every like H&K and
Correct.
Right. Now the SIG does make some guns they do consider like subcompacts, like the P250 has a subcompact, the P224 is a subcompact, the P290 is a subcompact. So
these are 9. So I was going to say can we say a subcompact has to be a 380? I guess not, right?
I would say
No,
well, I would say
no,
one way to
definitely
define
not.
I would say one way to define a subcompact is it has a 3.5 or smaller inch barrel.
Well, that's a good way to do it. Because think of the PF9 from Caltech. That's a small 9mm, and the Beretta Nano.
Yeah, because most compacts are like a 3.9 or a 4.25 inch barrel. And when you go into the subcompacts, you usually get like 3 3/4 or smaller barrels.
And so you're completely discarding Derringer type.
Well,
Well,
that's
no.
another thing. Do we call tiny
Belly
guns
guns.
pocket guns, or do we call them subcompact pistols?
I would call them pocket guns.
Because at some point you get down to where it's almost pointless. It's just a very deep backup or something,
Yeah,
right?
what do you say? Just like it has to hold at least 5 rounds.
There you
Well, I don't
Yeah,
know. I
but
mean, that's tough
I don't
because an
think that's
NAA short holds 5 rounds, so that would be right on your border.
And that would be
Yeah,
the
without even
20
plus oneing my Bauer holds 6.
Yeah.
And those are very tiny. So I think it has to do with marketing, like how that's where the words come from marketing, but how the company who makes the thing, what they consider it, instead of necessarily what we consider it, right?
I think if anything you realistically can't holster, or there's not a really good idea to make a holster for because they're so small, then that's a pocket gun. I know some people do make holsters for like the SIG 238. Is that the one? Or it's
See, I
So
would
you're
not
saying
call
if
that a
it's on a
pocket
belt
gun.
buckle,
Just because
it's a
it's
pocket
small
gun.
doesn't make it a pocket gun.
I'm just saying in
Yeah.
general that I think that if there's not a bunch of holsters out for it, like it wasn't really specifically designed or sought after as a holster gun to actually holster, and more likely it's a pocket pistol. If it's small in your hand, kind of fits within from barrel to the end within the size of your hand, the length of your hand. I think I consider it a pocket pistol.
Because it depends on the person. I don't consider most guns pocket guns because they don't fit in my pockets easily. But some people consider a J-frame a pocket gun.
Well, I've heard a lot of people.
I carry a J-frame in my pocket, or say equivalent of a J-frame in my pocket every day.
Depends on if you wear Levi's or khakis.
Pocket of my robe, of course, 'cause I don't wear pants.
No, but a lot of all of those pocket carriers very popular as a backup pistol, or is it just a informal, or I don't know what you call it, casual pistol?
Especially this time of year,
Getting hot.
shorts and
A
whatnot.
non-violent time of year when there's lesser stature criminals out.
Yeah,
No, when you're wearing less clothes.
especially when you're wearing a robe.
Now we almost need a 4th category.
For what?
Well, like I have that Smith & Wesson 908. It's not. I wouldn't consider it compact, but it's not full size. So what would are we calling those ones mid size or something?
Oh, no. I thought you meant even smaller. I would suggest anything that's not a full size, that isn't a subcompact, gets in the compact pile. Because otherwise you can go look at a 19, a Glock 19, they're compact, and a Glock, a Smith & Wesson C, M&P compact, and they're basically the same size. But, you can't hold them up next to each other and say that, okay, this one is Smith & Wesson's compact when, because when you compare it to another company's definition of a compact. So I would say, I don't know, subcompact. I guess you could say in that definition would be a pocket pistol as well, though.
We'll probably just have
Somebody
to
needs to
continue
come up
on.
with a set of box gauges, and if it fits into a certain box gauge, where the box
We'll
is,
probably just have to
they're going to be
continue on
rectangular, but
with
if it
what
fits in
guns.
this box, then it's this gauge, and then we'd have uniformity in what we call them, at least.
I think we're just going to continue with the topic and talk about which guns we think are the best subcompacts, and then we can all decide whether we think that gun is actually
a subcompact or not. Yeah.
Or else we'll be talking all night on just defining perimeters.
I guess, yeah, I'll have to do left to right. We'll start on Yankee.
I kind of already. What were we doing now? What was the question?
You just said, well, what do you think's the best subcompact?
Oh, my idea. I think the best.
One or three? I thought we were doing three.
Three.
Glock 20. Baby Glocks. Smith & Wesson J-frame. But the Ruger LCR gives it a good run for its money. I might even say LCR now over the J-frame. And I'm going to go with...
The three, like, 9 guns you already covered.
I'm going to say I might be giving the nod to the Shield now, because as I'm talking about in my video tonight, there's that model of the Shield now that doesn't have a thumb safety, so and it's an awesome little gun without the thumb safety. So.
All right. G-Webs?
All right, so you're asking me what the top 3 subcompacts are. So I'm already taking out all the NAAs and everything else that's tiny, which I'm going to consider a pocket pistol. So that's where you get my definition. Then I'm going to say J-frames, even though I like the Ruger LCR better, just because J-frames have existed since 1956 or something. There's like a billion flavors of them and saved a billion lives. So J-frame. Shield, the 9mm shield the Yankee just said without the safety, and then probably that whatever the SIG is I have that's 9mm.
290.
The 290, thanks. Because it's got good, decent sights. It's a little gun that's just smaller.
Now, do you not go with the Baby Glocks because you don't think of them as subcompacts, or?
Yeah, they're tough. I don't think they're as easy to shoot as a smaller gun, so if you're giving it to a female or somebody small or a new shooter even, just somebody that's not interested in... The reason I like Glocks is because I like Glocks, or the small Glocks because I like big Glocks. If I was just starting small, like I said, I would go with the revolver first, and then probably recommend that shield, and then that SIG because it's the closest thing to that shield. But I would say 9mm small, make it so you can fit in your hand, fit it in a pocket if you had to, but easily concealed anywhere, shootable by anybody. And yeah, I understand why the Glocks could be in that pile, but I think the Glocks shine when they're bigger, like a 19.
All right, well said. Cat Daddy?
I agree completely with G-Webs.
You're not going to get off that easy.
Oh, that's copying. That's copycatting right there.
I also would say check out that Versa 9mm. I think that's a good, thin, lightweight.
Herbert, touch and go stuff with that. I'll be good stuff and bad stuff like any other gun.
Those things are awful.
No, I've seen nothing but good things. I like the Shield. I carry a 27. Back it up with the LCP, which I think is a widely underrated gun. For how thin.
Carry 27? That's a lot of gun for you.
Yeah, I know. I gotta, I wear some padding and stuff to.
All right, cool enough. Marine?
All right, so I'm going to change my answer a little bit in that what I have in my possession that I carry are compact or subcompact. So I'm going to go with, for the compact, I guess we're calling the Smith & Wesson 908 in the compact range because it's not a full-size gun. And then the Kel-Tec PF9. I have 2 of those. one for me and one for the wife, and they're getting closer to what I would consider subcompact. Not quite a
Right.
pocket
I
pistol.
thought you told me you love your wife. Why should you carry Caltech?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I can see why someone might buy one for their wife, but
Yeah, you can go there if you want, but it's proven itself, and
Just mess with you.
she likes it. If she likes it and she'll use it, that's just as much a factor as anything else from where I sit. And then if they ever come out with the Glock 40, was it 41 or 42, and whatever model it becomes is a 9mm, I might consider that for my third option.
All right, some guy, Sandy.
Well, I'm speaking from being impartial. I've got a 642, similar to what's on the screen there. Also 9C, and had an opportunity to shoot a Walther PPQ right alongside that 9C, and it's dramatically thinner, and I think has pretty close to this. No, it's a single stack, but it's a nice gun, that PPQ. Those are my three.
PPQ is a double stack.
The PPQ, it doesn't bother me, but people say it looks like a high point.
I don't get that. I've got one in my hand right now. I don't get it as to where someone says that looks like a high point. It looks like
turn your camera on then, or maybe I'm not clicking.
I just did.
Curious
it
to
looks
see.
like a walker
Okay.
to me.
They say that big slide on it.
It's not a big slide. Not a big slide at all. It's actually.
Who says that's a big slide?
I've heard stuff in the past saying that, because a lot of people like the Walters because they are a little more pricier than your average pistol.
That's an HK though. You're saying, not a Walther.
No, this is a PPQ.
Okay, Walther PPQ. Okay.
Walther PPQ, and it looks like a Walther. It doesn't look like a.
Doesn't look like anything except a Walther. I mean, it couldn't be more of just a bigger P22 or something.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a high point to me.
Right, it compared, pretty.
It looks like a C.
High points have way bigger slides.
I think it's the grip. Excuse me. Because the high points have that curved back grip. You know how they have that little curve in at the bottom of the grip, and the PPQ has that too.
They're asking what Marine said was awful. What's worse than a PF9?
I don't know, herpes?
Oh, I thought, did you say something was worse than the PF9? Marine? I didn't remember that part of it.
There's lots of other crappy import guns that are definitely worse than the PF9, but I'm not.
Oh yeah, I would take a PF9 over a Cobra.
Everybody knows they're out there.
There's some of those. Astra made some small compacts that some were good and some weren't so good.
Yeah, I mean, there's levels of suck. I mean, Kel-Tec suck, but I'd still take a Kel-Tec over like a Cobra or a Jennings.
What about a llama? Yeah, I like a llama. All right, let's go, Stone Guy. Stone Guy, you sleeping?
I would have left too. You'd ever get to him for questions or nothing.
We're trying.
25 minutes into the chat before you even get a chance to say anything.
He's just a habitual sleeper. Some guy, you there? All right, fair enough. All right.
He also said something about he doesn't believe that people should be able to own small guns, something like that.
Okay. But all right, what's the?
I believe Stone Guy said that he believes that small guns are only for small police officer and small soldiers.
Small peanuts. What is the gun that you obviously a lot of people in the panel have been through miniguns and maybe done a 180 or done a 360 where they've gone back to that pistol they started off with. What is the gun you first started off with as a carry pistol and then you ended up maybe circling back to again? So open subject here wants to chime in there.
Well, it's easy for me because I wasn't carrying and I still don't. Working on that, but so I never really had small guns, and so yeah, I'm not gonna go to a full size to carry. It's not going to happen.
No, I can answer this question pretty well because, I mean, specifically probably exactly what you're talking to because, you know, I started off my life carrying small revolvers and as backup guns and then later as a civilian gun. And every time I get a new gun and move to something that I think is bigger, better, and badder, I always end up going back to my J-frames or similar, like now my Ruger LCRX. So small revolvers always end up being what I go back to. And believe me, people go out there and say, "Oh, you haven't tried this, you haven't tried that." If it's out there, if it's made and it's small, I've tried
it. Pardon me. I know there's some people that carry.
Who the hell unmutes to cough like that?
Sorry, it's a bad timing. I know some people carry large, or not large, but a full-size pistol in general, and that's the way they roll. So, you know, such a company is cool, but like I said, chime in there if you have something you can add to that.
I don't understand what the first question was. What guns we started
with? Like, you know, when we started carrying, right? When you go to the
everybody started with one gun that they walked away from. So what is that? And did you ever go back to it? I think is what you're saying.
Yeah, in short.
So not small guns, just where do we start carrying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I went big and then went smaller and smaller and then went bigger than everybody else again.
I played with it until it got bigger, and then I went back to smaller.
But I started with the USP, then I went down to a 23, Glock 23, and then I went back to the 35. But I've always had a J-frame in my pocket the whole time, too.
Notice that Kevin used the qualifier bigger, not big.
No. It's all relative.
Once you go black.
I hope you're not doing that with your relatives.
I actually started carrying with the Glock 19, but I just didn't like it, and then I went other ways.
That's odd because you're one of the few people who felt like that because it's such a, even though it's square and blocky, it fits well with a lot of people. It's a very popular pistol, but it's not for everybody. You know, mind you, there's other people. This is not going to work, and you are unique.
Put it in it.
Well, I mean, you are.
Put it in a nutshell. The grip angle doesn't work well for me. I have to work really hard to put things where I want them, and it just doesn't have. I can't naturally pick it up and be on target. I have to think about what I'm doing when I'm aiming, and I don't want to be doing that. Most of my other guns are more instinctual pointers, if you will, and I think
the good news is there is plastic surgery that you can. There's plastic surgeries you can get now, though, that will change your hands to be correct with the Glock.
To be non-Sasquatch?
Well, just because there are some imperfect hands out there. Glock is well aware of that. So they've teamed up with lots of plastic surgeons around the country so that people can get the correct grip angle back out of their hands. We have the technology to perfect you all.
Yeah. Or I can just get other guns that I don't have to get surgery for. That works too. I may come around, who knows, in a couple of years I might own 15 Glocks, but right now they don't work for me. So do we want to talk about the pocket pistols? Like, I know I've got a Bauer, I know Yankee's got a Bauer and some NAAs. G-Webs has got a bunch of NAAs and other stuff I probably never even heard of. Or not.
You guys just left in the middle.
No, I had to change tap on the
Chris
keg.
to get in.
I had to change the tap on the keg, sorry. But, yeah, I mean, I started off as well with the large pistols because I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and as I've transitioned to carrying and getting a lot more comfortable with it, you know, I've got into smaller pistols that I feel comfortable with, like a Glock 26, Glock 27, and but I have no problem carrying 1911 still or a Glock 22. I can cover it with a T-shirt still. I'm good like that, but I do like carrying the smaller pistols. Glock 26, Glock 27 are fun.
Anybody looking forward to the safetyless shield.
The what? Oh yeah, well, they were talking about that tonight. Hopefully it's gonna
We were
come
talking
out
about
soon.
it earlier.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we should talk about how much of an impact in the small guns it has if they have safeties or doodads that interfere with simplistic operation. Do we expect a subcompact to basically either be double action pull weight or something akin to that, so you don't have to have safeties? Because I
see
do like that
They
about some
built
of my
it for the
smaller
idiots
guns.
first, and now they had to start making a model for people that demand a real gun. So yeah, I mean, I think it's
Exactly.
obvious. Every gun that's come out, they've come out with a safety-less model for the people that aren't theoretical, for people that are actual real life, and realize that safeties get turned on inadvertently.
Yep. I in my
And
video
kill people.
tonight, in the video that I'll be posting later tonight, I take full credit for Smith & Wesson making the M&P shield with no safety. And I do
First,
post
Interesting
Whatever.
to know.
I'm gonna go grab my Smith & Wesson Shield fail video, and I'll show you how many hundreds of thousands of views that one got.
I don't mind the safeties initially, but I think I have shot an MP Shield 45. It didn't have a safety when I shot it.
45 M&P shield.
Or no, sorry, MMP 45, whatever. The thing is, what I'm telling you is that it wouldn't bother me as long as the holster manufacturers can make a good holster where it doesn't bother, doesn't obstruct it or knock it down as you're drawing it. As well as one of my concerns. I know you guys have.
What's a holster got to do with if you're trying to pick your gun up off the ground after being knocked out, and all of a sudden you're just fingering it and your safety gets turned on? The holster has nothing to do with that.
Well, I'm a ninja first, so
It's an inherent problem with the gun.
I'm a ninja, that would never happen, and it's like, nobody's fingering me.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that the only safety you need with the firearm is the one between your ears. I tolerate it on some of my guns, including the 45, but I mean, I could make a argument other than drop safety that a lot of guns that don't even have double action pull weight can be safely used as long as they're not dropped on the ground for an ND.
Well, what do we think about the new shield with the no safeties? Is everybody getting one of those?
I am.
I think that a lot of people join the chat and ask that same question.
I'm going to break my no gun for the rest of the year just because of that.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting one of the ones with a 9mm with no safety.
I knew you were. I knew you were.
Is there any timeline? Has anybody heard a timeline on that release
They're
of that?
already on gun. They're already on.
They're out.
So.
Oh, okay.
They're out. They're out. Sorry, did I ask a redundant question, G-Webs? I had to go pee, so I've been out for...
No,
That's
everybody
TMI.
asked that question, basically.
Okay.
You were AFK.
It's that big a deal, though. It's definitely groundbreaking, I don't know, groundbreaking, but it's definitely the biggest news in the last little bit about an actual something coming out that needed to be made and not something that no one asked for. And
Maybe since the 42, right?
Well, and everybody's just gives such rave reviews for the shield.
No, it's better than a 42. A 42 is just a little 380. If the 42 would have been 9mm, we wouldn't have having a discussion about the shield. But
no, I was just talking in terms of news impact.
Oh well, that's Glock hype or whatever. But the shield isn't even probably going to get that big of newsworthy impact or newsworthy hype, right? People will just say it exists.
Those that know and care are already aware of it, and they'll buy them, so they don't.
Yeah, because it's not like Smith is going to be like, "Hey, look, we made a mistake first, and now we're correcting it." Like, yay, let's bring attention to that.
Exactly.
And let's not forget, I mean, the 42 is great for what it is, but it's a great 380. It's not very many people want a 380 for self-defense. That's like saying, if you open a restaurant that makes the best blood pudding in town, you're still going to go out of business because most people don't want blood pudding. Then that's kind of the way the 42 is. But the shield is a great little 9mm.
Mm-hmm. With no safety.
Well, and I still say people don't give enough credit to 380 because there's nothing wrong with 380.
There's safeties. They're just like clocks. They're inside. They happen as you pull the trigger, but
yeah, no manual safeties, we like to say.
Because there are drop safeties and there are trigger safeties. I mean, it's not an unsafe firearm by any means. It's
but
in
there's
fact
no
super safe to
mechanical.
have in your pocket. Right. Nothing for your brain to screw up and forget.
Yeah. Nothing that's going to be accidentally turned on or you're going to forget to turn off when you need the gun quickly.
And I think the biggest problem is that so many people are like, oh, whatever, I'll just leave the safety off. There, problem solved. And then they go through life not even thinking about it because their problem's been solved. And then the first time it turns on, like they were experiencing something new with their firearm.
Yep. And I found out real quick that it can turn on, even that little low-profile safety. When I was carrying it in my vertical holster, or my horizontal holster, and at the gym and stuff, where I was walking quickly, because of the up and down movement in that horizontal holster, it was turning the safety on.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's I saw that. I was gonna mention Yankee me that video because the shield safety is can still be turned on. You never know. You never know when you pull it.
Yeah, and a lot of people gave me a lot of shit about that video, like, "Oh, you're biased and you're blah blah blah." I'm like, "What point would I have to be biased? I love Smith and Wesson." So.
And you bought the thing. Like,
I bought
you just don't like it. Well, I did buy it, so I must like it a little bit.
Exactly.
Right. Well, some people assume that you're getting it for product testing, like some of the other companies or whatever. So you must be biased. We know better, but they don't.
Well, she thinks
I've never
his
seen
hit like
he just says he buys them.
Yeah.
Like nothing fancy. Oh yeah, next time Yankee, show us receipts, will ya?
Okay, hold on.
Now he's gonna get receipts.
Here's the ones that are in reach. Here's the ones that are in reach that I haven't filed away yet.
Mm-hmm. You're a little bit behind on your filing system there.
I am.
Just a day or two.
I'm not going to show you
you're
this.
Talking to Yankee, that's like this month's worth of receipts.
No, it was only a week's worth, but he's a little behind.
This is actually like 6 months worth. I haven't filed a receipt in like 6 or 7 months.
And I'm the 1%er.
Hey, I trade a gun when I get a gun though, so it's not really like it costs me anything. I was like, here's the one for my Ruger Vaquero, and that was like 6 months ago.
I guess one of the things we didn't cover with the compacts and subcompacts, we pretty much seem to have dismissed anything less than 9mm overall. Is that something we agree on, that you don't really want a compact or subcompact that's a 380?
Only when we were talking about the best ones, because they might exist in smaller calibers, but that doesn't make them the best ones. If we talk about all of them, then yeah, obviously we'll include everything.
Here's proof that I bought the Chiappa Rhino. There you go.
There you go.
Chiappa Rhino.
Yeah, but for all we know, the YouTube is standing right there next to you with a handful of cash, so you're buying it, but they're
doing this.
Well, why did you buy that? I thought you didn't like that thing.
I didn't say I liked it, I just said I bought it.
This is Yankee you're talking to.
I mean, you gotta admit, there's got to be some gun in your collection that when you initially heard about it or whatever, you're like, that gun's not for me, and then, eventually you decide, well, maybe I want to try it out, and you buy it, and it may turn out to be that all your opinions that you form based on other people's work or opinions are wrong.
That was my story with the Glock, my life with the Glock.
And my PF9.
I've got the
I did
exact.
have a PF9 that had a little bit of problems, and I agree that they had manufacturing problems, but when one is in good working order, I have no problem with it. And mine are in good working order, so, the manufacturers had problems over the years, and I totally agree with it.
Everything works till it breaks.
And what's the trigger pull like on that Rhino?
It's not bad. I don't know what people are saying that it's bad, because it's not.
Have you ever pushed against a rhinoceros's penis?
It stacks a little bit on the double action, not too bad, but the single action is very light and smooth. Its cock's weird though. It feels weird when you cock it because this is not the actual hammer; it's a cocking mechanism. So it feels
bizarre.
Because then once you cock it, then this thing is like, and it never stays back; it goes back forward.
But look at the shape of that cylinder.
You can't fan it with that?
Buying the gun just for the shape of the cylinder.
No, the cylinder's odd shape. Yeah, I like the cylinder shape.
It's awesome.
It's growing on me. I'm liking this gun. I went and put 200 rounds through it the first day I bought it. 200 rounds through it.
Nice.
But I've heard because of the weight, even having that lower bore axis, it's not any less snappy than a traditional revolver.
Well, I will say it's less flippy
different
than a 357 Magnum. It's less flippy. It doesn't flip as much. But it stings your palm more because it shoves the gun right straight back into your palm. So it's
I was
not
about to ask.
to shoot, but it's more accurate to shoot.
All right.
So it's a 357.
Yeah, 357 Magnum. Yeah. But my biggest problem is keeping my fingers out of the goddamn way of the cylinder. 'Cause you got to keep them low.
Edge, they got him locked on me.
Yeah, and could hurt it. That could hurt a bit right there.
Trying to show Yankee, and he got it locked on me.
You don't want chamber burn when you're in a self-defense.
No, because it's shooting out the bottom. All the flash is right here instead of up here. So if you've got your thumb right here, you're in trouble.
I went and shot. I didn't shoot them like 200 rounds for sure. I just shot each of them to see what they were like, but I never noticed any heat or anything. And now I kind of want to shoot one again to see if I can pay more attention to that.
Yeah, I watched your video on them again before I bought this one. I
But
bought
like
it.
you see, I just went bang, bang, bang. I didn't really.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
bought
even
it.
think about that. That's what I think about.
Admittedly, I bought it mainly to do a really stupid video with it, and then to try it out. But I'm really liking it the more I shoot it.
Did you?
I'm surprised you didn't get the fancy one with the wood grips and stuff.
I kind of want wood grips for it, but if I'm going to carry it, the rubber grips are more comfortable than the wood ones on this gun, I think, because they're weird shape.
Oh, okay. I just thought you'd like the look of that wood one better.
I do like the looks of the wood, but I've gotten in this weird pattern now where I like my carry guns to be black.
Really like that shape of that grip too. I mean, for some reason, it's sort of like more, I don't know, modern arty than a regular grip.
It's very comfortable. You
It
look
doesn't
at
look
it
like
and you're
an
like,
old revolver
you
grip.
look at it and you're like,
Right,
that's
the
going to be
different
horrible to
shape.
hold on to. You look at it and you're like, that's going to be horrible to hold on to. But when you put it in your hand, you're like, oh, I guess they actually designed it to fit a hand.
Since we're talking about that kind of, what about that thing for like people with arthritis for holding a J-frame? You seen that thing? It's like a wedge.
I've tried to contact
about
them a dozen times and they won't talk to me, so I haven't been able to try one.
Because I want to try one already. I think they might be pretty cool.
You must be an AARP member to purchase this item.
Yeah, probably. You can only
Like the
you need your Medicare number.
AARP supported Obamacare. They're evil now.
There's 30 special.
They
Have you shot
only
30
supported
special
it
with that?
because
Does
they
it feel
profited heavily off of it.
you shoot 30 special with that? Does it feel a little bit better?
With that Rhino?
Yeah.
It's pretty much what I shot through it. I shot like 180 rounds of 38 special, and then only like 20 rounds of 357 Magnum.
Like one shot of 357, 299 shots of 38, and then one more shot of 357.
Which it is more fun to shoot 38 special in it.
For sure.
Are you gonna improve that? Are you gonna find a way to improve that grip somehow so it doesn't hurt as much?
No, the grip's very nice. I like the grip.
Okay.
You just got to
It
watch.
can't be as bad as my mom. My mom has one of those small frame pistols with the bird's eye grips on it, and that one's flat out torture. A couple cylinder loads and you're hurting.
I mean, if people would have asked me a year ago about that gun, I'd be like, leave it alone. It's a novelty. Shooting it a lot. This right before I got it the day before I went on vacation. So I had to run to the range and shoot it. Because I've been on vacation.
I have a question. What are those rhinos approximately going for new nowadays?
750 to 850.
Okay, now I feel like an idiot. 2 or 3 years ago, I had the opportunity to buy one really freaking cheap, and I just thought it was some weird novelty gun at the time.
Yeah, I passed on one used for 500 that had been unfired about a year ago. I wish I'd bought it.
If I remember right, I was like 250.
Before the stupidity I passed on an AR pistol I could have had for $350, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't have bought it because I didn't want an AR pistol. But
I did remember asking you about. I did remember asking you about that, Yankee, a year ago about what do you think of the Rhino? You did say something about that's a gimmick. That was a gimmicky gun.
I mean, things can be a gimmick, but
so
some things that are a gimmick item, they actually are really functional too. So
well, the automobile was a gimmick at one time.
So maybe it's my own personal thing or whatever, but like my father has a Makarov pistol. It's in the. I always get the caliber. It's the one that's 18 millimeters long instead of 19 millimeters. So
Not by 18.
The Parabellum or the. whatever it is.
9
But
by
anyhow,
18 is a stacker off round.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just call it 9mm Mac, and everybody knows what you're talking about.
9x. Yep.
Okay, so anyhow, but he has one of those. It's a little snappy, but they're still around, and from what I've seen, they're uber reliable. So, you know, for a low cost option for somebody who's not stacking Benjamins in their mattress or whatever, it's not a bad option for a one-off, one-only compact pistol. Would they make subcompact? I don't know if they make subcompact size, but they're close, right on the threshold.
Yankee, would you carry that?
What, the Rhino? I am carrying it this week. That's why I went and shot 200 rounds through it, so I'd feel safe carrying it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a new toy that I'm taking to the range tomorrow to see how it functions. The knockoff of the SIG.
How do you have a SIG knockoff? What's the brand?
They're made in Spain. They're called Astra.
Yeah.
Astra A100. It's pretty much a very cheaply made clone of a SIG 228.
Spanish.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Astra eventually rolled over into Star Arms. I know Star's, a lot more people are familiar with Star.
Yeah, copyrights aren't forever, so after a point, people can make knockoffs without.
Oh yeah, guns are like the most copied gun in the world, item in the world. For it's like somebody outside the country's gonna make a clone out of it.
Oh, has anybody seen that shit? I can't think of the name. It was that gun we were making fun of. That Nothing Fancy reviews. It's got the little dolphin. It's that polymer.
Canic.
Canic. Yeah. Has anybody seen a Canic in person yet?
Yeah.
I have held it. I have held the Canic in my hand. I've not bought it yet, but I've held it.
Saw a lot of them at SHOT Show. Disassembled one. Wasn't that impressed. It's I'm like, unless you're trying to save a few bucks, just buy the CZ. So they're just CZ clones.
Yeah, the local gun shop there in Newport, the one in Idaho, had a Caracal for a little while, and when I went in last time, I was like, "It's gone. Did somebody buy it?" And he's like, "No, the manufacturer recalled it."
Yeah.
So,
Well, they had that tiny little problem of the frames breaking in half, or the slides breaking in half. But
that's not good.
See, that's the problem with new guns like the Canic and stuff like that, is when they're cheap, they're unproven. So I won't go with them because I'm like, well, I'll just get the CZ. It's proven, even though it costs a little more. And then if the gun, like say Canic, proves to be a good gun, by the time it's proven itself, it won't be cheap anymore. So it's hard to get a good cheap gun that's actually proven itself.
the risk factor.
What's messed up is that I saw one being sold used at Cabela's. I just got back from there. They're selling it for $400.
Wait, Cabela's sells used guns?
Yes.
Yes, they do. They take
Really?
care of it.
Yep. That's where I got a lot of my guns came from Cabela's used.
Guys that work there put their shit in the case and try to sell it.
I had no idea Cabela. I mean, you think of Cabela's like Bass Pro Shop, and they don't sell used guns, so.
They buy guns and
Yeah,
they sell them, resell them.
Right. But they buy definitely at their
They get a good
advantage,
percentage.
from what I've heard. They give you probably 30 or 40% of their retail used price. For
Yeah, they're
your
going to buy it at the same price that a pawn shop would probably buy it.
That's just odd for a big retailer like that to buy and sell used guns.
Well,
They have a lot of them.
they're taking in one of those used guns that they can turn for even, let's say they don't even make a profit on it, but the guy purchases a newer rifle or handgun because of it. That increases their market share by a margin, Good business.
It's a matter of customer demand, I'm sure.
Yeah, I got a question for anybody who can touch on the topic. I know a lot of y'all are probably familiar with the different Mac variations, like the Mac 11 and stuff that's been produced by different companies. I ran across an old Mac 11 produced by Cobra, actually still an open bolt design. Anybody know what one of those is worth nowadays?
Cobra? I would say anywhere between 58 cents and $7.
Right. So which
I didn't know if it
Oh, come on, Yankee. Even
one of
the
the
parts are worth more.
produced for the open bolt, if it'd be worth more or not.
Of course it is. So which caliber?
9mm.
Really? So Cobra doesn't mean too much because that was printed onto the flats, and then the flats were sold multiple times. So do you know what company made it?
I did not. I read it, but I do not remember exactly. I just remember seeing the Cobra stamp on it, and it was somewhere in Atlanta. The only other marking I remember is made in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta? All right. I'm looking at my list here. But basically, the gun itself is kick-ass, and then it was made as a machine gun, and then it was sold. And they quit making them. Well, as they were making them as machine guns, they started making them as open bolts. They got told not to. Then eventually they sold the company, and that's when it started getting bad. So unless something is unique about that one, typically the open bolt versions are the old original ones, and they're worth $1,000 plus. What were they selling it for?
The one in the shop, they had it priced at $4.99.
Really?
So, yeah.
I would probably jump the shit on that.
I don't have the extra cash to blow on it at the moment. I've spent myself out numerous times this month.
Make sure it's really open
just as
bolt.
a fun
They
gun,
might
it's
not
worth
understand
$500.
and say it.
No, it was open bolt. It's, I pull the bolt back, it locks, and then I pull the trigger, it flies forward.
Yeah, then they probably don't know what it could be worth for out there.
But it's at one of those those big chain pawn shops that's owned by a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, they probably looked it up and didn't know what they were looking at, or it's one of the bad ones. Some of the bad ones are poor.
Gotcha.
But that was typically after the reason they got poor, or lesser, is when they went from full auto to open bolt. All right, that was a pain in the butt. But when they went from open bolt to closed bolt, that changed the gun. That was not the same gun anymore. Then it had trigger slap and stuff, and it got a bad rap because a bunch of media hype about them. But it got basically.
I've shot one of the closed bolt ones before, and it didn't impress me at all. So.
But just do a little bit of internet research. There's all kinds of people that are fans of them, and they try to break it down because it can be a little confusing. Because again, they all say Cobra, pretty much all say Cobra, because they printed that on the flats when they were first making them, and then those flats got sold to multiple companies. So there's like, three or four companies that say Cobra on them.
Well, what's the company that took over Cobra now in Atlanta that's making those?
Well, it didn't take over Cobra, but I guess if you want to not listen to anything I just fucking said, you could say that it took over Cobra because they still make a Mac 10. But basically, it's called fucking hell.
I saw the video you did about
Masterpiece Arms. Yeah.
Masterpiece, yeah.
Not the same thing at all. I mean,
no, Masterpiece is making
a gun with a handle coming out of it. Well, yeah, and they're 901 whatever compliant. They're a legit company making legit machines.
I've got one of the Masterpiece Arms, and I really like it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think Yankee got one of those. Yeah, that's what I want, is one of those little Uzi looking from Masterpiece.
30 round.
I think they're fun looking, but the whole fun part is.
Thank you, G-Webs. You had the exact same feeling I did.
Oh, shut the fuck up. You didn't have no feeling. What do you?
That brings out a primal of urge. It's not a Uzi. Come on, a Uzi is an Israeli gun.
Oh, man.
It's our version. It's the completely United States version.
But it looks like a fucking Uzi. If you showed that to 99 people, they would go, "Oh, that's an Uzi."
Yeah,
so what? Does that make it a Uzi?
You show a Wesson M&P to 99 people, they'd say, "Oh, that's a Glock."
1022 to people.
An Uzi doesn't look exactly like.
That's not making it right. We have to be the ones to make it clear.
Totally different.
was gonna say, and Uzi's real heavy. They're
Yeah,
fun,
Uzis
but
are like 10 pounds, and they're like what gave Ingram the idea. But then Ingram is like the freaking Uzi is like the FAL, and the MAC-10 is like the AK of the subguns. It's like you can't make them quit working, and they're freaking awesome. They're like the coolest things ever. They kind of look like an Uzi because they have a extendo.
I can see how one fun, but realistically, if they're not full auto, which I couldn't even afford ammo if they were, or the bird or rifle initially, but or whatever they are, whatever classified as, I don't see the fun in them buying them. Just shooting them one bullet at a time. I don't know. That's the way I feel about the Uzi or the MAC-10s. I know they look cool.
The only reason I get a MAC-10 type gun is if it's full auto. That's just, it won't feel right.
I don't have any experience with them personally, but when I see people shoot them and the sights on them, I think they're like they're fun, more of a novelty than the actual pistol or functional gun you're going to really use. But mind you, so is a full auto. Because realistically, what are you going to use it for?
Oh, there's something to be said for cool.
Just to answer the 2 emails I've gotten, no, that is not me in that picture. That is my baby brother. I was never a Marine. That was this week.
We figured you were the one in the dress, standing with some dude.
No. I would look much better in that dress than his wife. Don't tell him I said that.
Just for the record, that doesn't look like dress blues to me.
The Class A uniform.
Well, he's in Army Class A. What did I say, Marines?
Yeah, that's Army.
Yeah.
Marines have red pants, right?
I don't know why.
We have a blood stripe. Yes.
No, he's Sergeant U.S. Army. I don't know why I said Marines. I'm not.
That's why
I said I'm not. I meant to say I'm not in the Army, and that was last week. I said I'm not in the Marines, and that was last week. I'm not in the Army anymore, and this picture was taken last week. I don't know why I said Marines. I just got Marines on the brain tonight. But I am no longer in the service, and that was taken last week, so that is not me. And plus, it doesn't even look like me, so I don't know what people are asking if that's me.
Yeah, that's Army dress blues. Those are Army dress blues.
We've already. Did you not just listen to anything I just said?
Yeah, I heard, and I'm just adding it in. Shit,
Hey,
chill the
those
fuck
are
out.
not Air Force uniforms.
To the people that are asking if that is me, no, it is not me. It does not look like me. And plus, I am not in the military anymore, and that was just taken last week.
Wait,
No,
and Yankee was in the Air Force, and that's Army dress.
No, I was not in the Air Force.
So just to make sure, we're talking about an Eagle Scout uniform now, right?
I didn't say it was you, Yankee. No.
We're grateful for his service, even if you described him as being in the wrong service.
Yes. Well, that was just me saying the wrong service because I, for some reason, got Marines on the brain. I'm reading all this Marine crap right now.
Well, 4 hash marks. He's committed anyway.
Yeah. He's been in for a while.
Who's the state trooper on Yankee's picture?
Yeah. I'm reading all this Marine Corps crap right now, and I got Marines on the brain.
Thank you, Stady. You should show one of the Stady pictures.
And the more I'm reading about the Marines here, the more I'm like, why does anyone ever join the Marines?
I can tell you it's not for the college benefits. All the other services have better college benefits.
People to go do stuff.
That's what I'm looking at, because one of my nephews wants to join the Marines, and I'm looking up stuff so I can tell him reasons why not to join the Marines.
I was going to say there's plenty of reasons. One, the Air Force pays a lot better.
And you don't get. And I also told him
they're kicking people out of the Air Force and the Navy right now, as far as like like forcing them to retirement or because they can't pass a fitness test. And they're pushing people out.
Yeah, they've cracked down on the fitness part of it for sure in the Air Force.
We completely off topic now, or
officially. Yeah. But yeah, when I worked on base Lackland, I saw some fat sergeants at the beginning, and then I heard about that stuff coming down the pipe about the fitness requirements again, and you saw it little by little. They weren't at the subway anymore. All right, so try to get back on rail here.
Let's go back to compact guns.
All right. Interesting. Okay. All right, compact guns. How do you let's try to do it open panel to comment. How do you prefer to carry your compact pistol? Inside the waistband, outside the waistband?
And where I carry all guns.
Ultra
outside
deep concealed chest rig.
I carry everything out.
Almost any size.
You're saying?
Want to go for a second or third, triple, double?
I said I carry everything outside.
I prefer a deep concealed chest rig, and it'll hold most all of them at the same time. You don't have to get special ones for each gun.
Luke likes his girdle carry. He likes carrying his
I really do like my girdle carry. I can take the teasing. My family calls it my
rose ear.
man's ear, or my bro. In the Seinfeld episode. It works. It's a comfortable way to carry a second gun and still access it in a little amount of time.
I switch it up between inside the waistband. I guess in the winter, it doesn't really bother me. In the summer with the leather, and outside the waistband. But I got a new inside the waistband Kydex holster with a belt clip that I'm really fond of right now. That I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna try and use that outside. That works out for me on my Glock 26 to Glock 27.
Yeah, I sometimes carry outside the waistband mostly, but I sometimes, when I'm lazy, I just grab a inside the waistband holster if I don't feel like changing belts.
Who is like building a house while they're on camera here?
Sorry, let me mute myself.
Yeah, there you go. That's a novel idea.
Well, the one thing I like about the outside of the waistband, at least for the most part, is when the belt loops. Is that in the middle of the day, if you want to change something or have a different plan of action, what you're gonna do that day, then you have to sit there, go home or wherever you're at. If you have to change clothes and unloop it all, and then
I don't know. Maybe I just have better. Maybe I just have better bowel control than you, but I very seldom have to change my pants during the middle of the day.
Well, I work at it. Well, it depends. Double stack on those in the trunk.
I go inside the waistband or inside the pocket.
Yeah, I've heard that about you.
Has anybody tried those? Has anybody tried those T-shirts that are designed for carry?
No.
Those just look so stupid to me. I don't know what.
I don't know. Just because of trying the other method of carry, it intrigues me. But I was hoping somebody.
And we showed those stupid pants online last time I was on chat, so I guess it was over a week ago. Those ones that are made for carry that have the holster built into the pocket that are like $150 a pair.
I've got a buddy of mine that he has one of the T-shirt styles.
Yeah, Dowtech makes them.
He has the T-shirt style, and then he has like a button-up T-shirt style that has the universal holster built into it. And he loves those things. He carries his he alternates between a Glock 19 and a Smith & Wesson M&P 40C. But he says it works well for either one.
I think those T-shirts put the gun right next to your armpit, right? And your T-shirt. I wear a T-shirt to keep the sweat and shit off of the other stuff I might be carrying around.
Dowtech makes some. One company I've done some photo reviews for, and then they make a pocket you can sew into any shirt, and I imagine like a flannel, something sturdy, and that you can put your own, inside though, or a little pocket panel or whatever inside there, and sew it into yourself if you wish. But again, like what you have said, I wore an undershirt to try to keep all the crap off me, because I have to wear dress casual to work.
When are we going to address the elephant in the room and just get a plastic surgeon to create an internal holster? A pocket flap sort of thing?
A pouch? A kangaroo pouch?
Kind of a kangaroo pouch.
I was going to say, Yankee already addressed that a long time ago.
No, he just used an existing orifice. I want a plastic surgeon to create a custom one.
Some girl got arrested for doing that, didn't she?
No, that's being lazy. I want my own.
Man, that does not qualify as a holster.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they had some what do you call it? Antibacterial Kydex or whatever. It wouldn't be that hard to get one pierced onto you by one of those piercing companies that are around.
We don't want a plastic surgeon. You want that.
Yeah, piercing is totally 1990s. Now you get a surgeon to throw like little silicone shapes underneath of your skin, so you have subcutaneous shapes like ridges and spikes and stuff that are underneath of your skin.
But you gained some weight. No, I got a new gun flap.
Whatever.
I'm
just dig right into your fat.
I'm looking at anchors. I'm looking at anchors for the Kydex. Goes on the outside.
He had a custom holster built for his panis, and he just slaps it up underneath there.
That's right. That's right.
And for those of you who don't know, panis is that giant flap that hangs down over your penis when you do that.
I got rid of that. I can see my willy again.
This is really going downhill fast. So we done with small gun stuff, so I can show off my AR.
And go ahead.
Is it a compact AR?
Go up there.
I guess all we decided is we really wanted to sum this chat up in. So we wanted to sum this chat up in like just a couple of minutes instead of wasting all this time. We can just say J-frames are the best subcompact gun.
Glock 26.
As
so
stated
pretty much on everybody's list.
Else, there's other options that aren't J-frame.
But that's the one gun that was pretty much on everybody's list.
I don't think anyone bashed the mini Glocks, the baby Glocks.
G-Webs didn't put them on his list.
I won't include them.
That's just semantics.
And then you agreed with him completely, so that means it wasn't on your ass-kissing list either.
There you go. G was tall. He was standing on a ladder.
Trying to get first place here.
Actually, I would be willing to bet that Kevin is pretty much right at head-to-ass level with G-Web. So
all right, less gear to carry. All right, Marine, see your AR. I'll put it up there.
All right.
Yay, Marine finally got an AR.
I finally got it finished anyways. So it's so long it's going to take forever to come through frame because I got the 20-inch barrel, 12-inch handguards, whatever. And pretty soon when I get that longer collapsible stock, it'll be even bigger. It'll be full Sasquatch size.
Yeah.
But it's a BCM upper, the ATI Omni loader from Yankee, a bunch of, what's the name of that company?
CMMG.
UTG parts and the trigger kit and the buttstock.
Wait, you got all that on a polymer lower?
Hey, if anything ever goes wrong with the lower, he can just spend $8.
If I break it, then I'll just throw an aluminum lower in there and I'll be good to go. So
yeah, so say all he's got to do now is buy an aluminum lower. If anything ever goes wrong with that one, he's set to go. He's got all the parts.
Even have the BCM. I forget what the model, but the tactical
charging handle.
Charging handle.
Yeah, if you got the money right now, it's on. It's a
BCM gunfighter version.
I would buy your lure right now, where they're cheap.
So I guess the only thing I really needed,
just to have one on hand.
Yeah, I've still got that other 80% polymer lure. I don't even know who makes that one, but other than maybe a bad lever, and I'm gonna put some sort of red dot on it. It's pretty much done.
Oh, a red dot on a 20-inch. I figured you were going to put an optic on a 20-inch.
Yeah, why the hell would you put a red dot on a 20-inch?
So, if I decide to go out long range shooting, I'll throw an optic on it. But other than that,
no, you need to get like a 4x1 or 1x4 rather. Something that you could use up close, but then still have the option. Because you don't want to be switching out optics. That'll get old quick.
Yeah, it may end up with a scope on it permanently. We'll see. But then, if you want to keep your flip up battle sights or whatever, do you go with the long eye relief pistol scope? So that you're not blocking out your flip ups, or you just set up with a quick release?
How about you not flip up sights on a 20-inch barrel?
Nah, you could do some offset 45s.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. But those would mount off of the handguard, and I don't have a floating foregrip or whatever. I guess it would be.
Is it monolithic? I mean, like, is it flat top all the way across?
2 Ps.
No, he's got a Magpul handguard on it.
Yeah.
So there'd be
all
nowhere
kinds
to
of places
attach
where you can
a
add
45-degree thing up there.
Well,
Wouldn't do that.
the Magpul does make
have
a little
45
spinning
on
wheel.
the top edge.
While I was playing Angry Birds,
Oh,
and Dad texted me back.
okay.
There's a place where you can add a pick rail on the 45 on
Can I show
the
them
MOE
in?
one.
Hold on, go get it.
Is that 45? I guess it's closer to 90. Probably like 80 degrees or something. Whatever. We'll go shoot it and see what I think about it, and then maybe I'll have a better opinion on what.
I'm working on getting a 20-inch upper on my second build, and Palmetto State just recently had a pretty good deal on one. They're like $389 with a decent rail setup on it and everything.
Is that complete? Is that with the bolt carrier?
Make sure you get your.
No, I didn't have that, but it's a 1-7 twist on the setup. Sounded pretty good.
I don't want to break in here or anything, but Caden, since we're totally off topic, Caden wanted to show everybody his new phone.
Right on.
He got his first
better phone than I got.
Phone's bigger in his hand.
He got his first smartphone today.
I had one of the first. I had one of the first LG sort of big screen ones or whatever. I really liked it.
Yeah, he got his first smartphone, so he's really thrilled.
G2. They're very good phones. Not many people with problems with them.
He likes it. It's a little LG, so he likes it. But it's on a month-to-month plan because I ain't putting him on a contract right now.
Can you imagine all the hookers he's gonna order?
Yeah, we're getting ready to get new phones again, and I got to decide if I want the S4 or the S5. My wife doesn't like that the S5 doesn't have any metal in it, but I like that it's pretty much
I would
drop it in the toilet.
They
Make sure you
switched the
get
fucking
LG
charger.
before you do the S5 or S4, because that mic issue on the G4s is driving me crazy. You can't film video.
What mic issue is that?
If on the Galaxy S4s, if you film video for YouTube, you'll get this popping in the audio really bad.
So the
And
5 is
I've
better
talked
than the
to
4?
Samsung and Verizon, and they're both like, "Yep, it's just part of the phone. Nothing we're gonna do about it."
Because I have the S3 and I really like it.
Probably.
Oh,
I
S3
know-
does fine.
I noticed on my Galaxy.
Since we're totally off the rails and we're not talking about the topic anymore, I wanted to add I got the best where I got noticed, were recognized by someone from YouTube this week when I was in Cincinnati, Ohio. I was eating at a Dairy Queen, and this guy comes up to me, and he kind of just stands there and stares at me for a second. And I'm like, okay, what's this? And the guy goes, "You're the Yankee Marshal."
Did he offer to share a banana split with you?
And I was like, "Yes, nice to meet you." And he said, "Nice to meet you." And I said, "But you can call me David." And he looked at me again for a second and went, "No, I'm not going to do that." And then he walked away. Always said to me.
He's like, my brain cannot compute a real name. You're a celebrity to me.
That was
I remember the first
Hey,
time I met Yankee, and I think he was afraid that he was going to have a shooting incident or whatever. It's like, who's this big motherfucker coming up to me who knows who I am?
Yeah.
At a gas
I would have
station.
been worried if he would have offered you want to share, banana splits, me and you sitting down. That's romantic.
I mean, I just said, "Yeah, call me David," and he just went, "Nope, not going to do it," and walked away. And I was just like, "That is the weird, that's the best interaction I've ever had with someone who recognized me before."
There you go. He didn't want to be
wants
your
to know
bud.
what the best subcompact phone is to carry.
The best compact pistol ever?
No, subcompact phone.
The Razor, Motorola Razor.
An iPhone 4.
dude, I'm rocking.
I kind of want to show people this letter right here. It's got nothing to do with guns, but I guess I underpaid our garbage bill by 3 cents when I paid it. I guess I entered 56.66 instead of 56.69. I just hit 6 too many times. So they've sent me a letter saying unless they receive 3 cents in their office by June 26th, they're canceling my garbage service. 3 cents.
My garbage service does that to me
I will send
too.
3 cents just for the hell of it.
So I'm writing them a fucking check for 3 cents and mailing it to them today because I know it'll cost them $8 or $9 in handling just to have it cashed. So.
Yep.
That is a win. That's all I can say.
I can't believe they sent me this letter, and it's not even like overdue. It's just, well, the bill was due on the 3rd. I paid it on the 28th of last month when I sent out payment. So the bill's only the 3 cents has only been overdue for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, scofflaws like you is the reason that this world's going to shit.
Exactly. Usually they'll just add the 3 cents to your next bill.
Seriously, and then I know people that probably haven't paid half of their bills for 6 months, and they just throw the bill away or like resend it back to them or whatever.
I would hit it or 3 pennies.
You got to figure it cost them at least whatever 50 cents in postage and $5 worth of somebody's time to get you that letter about 3 cents.
Oh, yeah.
So they're already back.
I asked them if you could set it up into 3 installments.
Yeah.
Installment payments.
It's still not the best one, though. My Uncle Gary once got a letter. He had canceled service with something, and he had made a final payment. And when he made his final payment, he overpaid by like $4 or $5. So he kept getting these collection notices from them for -$4 or $5. Like, negative money. And he kept blowing it off because he's like, well, I can't owe them negative money. Blah, blah, blah. He threw it away. He finally got a letter stating that he was being turned over to a collection agency, that it was being reported to his credit that he owed negative like $3 or $4 or something like that. So he actually wrote a check for negative money and mailed it to him, but he said it never ever cashed. And then
that sounds about like my parents with the IRS.
That is actually a great idea.
They owed the IRS back taxes, so they were voluntarily paying, let's say, $400 a month. And one of the checks got lost in the snail mail. So then they came in and said, oh, no, we're not going to accept your voluntary $400 a month, and decided to garnish their wages for $180 a month.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
That was really smart of them, huh? So it took them twice as long to pay it off. But they were like, screw it, if they're going to do that, they can just get their money stolen.
I should have sent this stupid company a nickel and told them I want my change back.
Yeah.
I would have
the collection agency in a couple years.
Waste management does that to me too. There's sometimes they don't get me bills on time, and there'll be like a week or so that I won't have my garbage picked up because they screwed up my payment system.
Yeah, I never see a bill from Waste Connections. That's who this is, Waste Connections. It's our garbage service. I have yet to see a bill from them since I've moved in here. I have to call them regularly. I called them. I said, what is my monthly service? And then I just started auto-paying them that monthly service. And that's what I did till like 6 months ago when we changed banks. Now I just remember how much it is, so I just pay it every month. But I've never seen a bill from the people. Until, of course, it's overdue, and then they send me a letter.
Our garbage is thrown
Ours is in the water bill, so you're probably paying twice.
Yeah. No, we don't do the sewer. They don't do garbage and water together here. They did that in West Virginia too. They don't do it here.
They'll do water and electric here, depending on what area you're in.
San Antonio has a shitty municipality system as far as electricity, because they have all kinds of competitors out there market, but they have a no-bid contract with CPS, and nobody can come in and even compete with them. So you have to, you can only deal with them, and they're very proud of it. And it's some stupid freaking old hardball politics that have kept them like that, because they should let other people come in and compete with them.
Like I work with a guy when I do roofing projects. He can drop off dumpsters, but they can only contain roofing, because if there's trash in it, then he violates his non-compete with Waste Management or Waste Connections or whatever. It's retarded because there is no competition for the contract.
No, my father lived in Laredo. He was getting sick of CPL giving him the shit in the stick, and he called and he had 3 companies saying, "Yeah, we'll discount you by 30%. You know, just come sign with us." And he did, 30% discount automatically, and it's like, wow. But San Antonio has that fucking shithole system with the water system and electricity. You have a no bid contract. You're stuck with them, and every like 2 years they're asking for a raise in service because of blah blah blah. You know, they want to pay their employees more, or at least senior management.
So I got a funny gun question for everybody. Does anybody have a specific model of gun that they just keep getting rid of, and somehow, for some reason, keep getting that exact same model of gun back, and then want to keep getting rid of it?
I think
I've had a Glock 29 like 6 times.
Because I'm as of this week, I have my 10th Glock 22, and I already want to get rid of it.
Not me. I learned from the past to never get the guns again that I got rid of.
Is Glock 22 the 10mm version?
No, it's a 40.
No,
Not a cop gun.
There's a 10mm version. I might take it off your hand, but I don't want
20. Glock 20. No, I mean, most of the guns I've gone through, the only ones I got rid of are ones I just didn't use. I had them sitting there and you just didn't shoot them, like that SP 2022. It's a great gun. No, I had no issues with it. I just didn't shoot it. I wanted something I was gonna like rotate a little more with it and keep it more active and shoot more with it. That's why I sold it and used that money to buy that Glock 27.
I just keep getting people like, I guess it's like a very popular gun around here or something. Every time I go to get rid of a gun that I'm going to trade or something, almost always somebody offers me a Glock 22 and plus something else to make the trade worth it for me.
There's a lot of Glock 22s in the market because a lot of PDs are converting to MPs, 40s. And there's a big flood on the market. I've seen a Glock 22.
Bullshit. Prove it. You keep saying that, so let's see some proof to back it up already.
Okay, all right, my bad. SAPD has converted to Glock 22s.
There's one department out of how many in the United States? So you said most.
Well, okay, J&G sells. You see a lot of, okay, where my opinion comes from. I'm not going to sit there and say it's definitive, but my opinion where it comes from is from J&G sales. Also has a lot of inexpensive Glocks. And if you look at J&G, Gun Broker, the local gun stores, I see them quite a bit. Saying that they're trading.
So your local area has a Glock 22.
Well, there were a lot of unissued PD.
How do you know that it's that and it's not them going from Gen 3 to Gen 4 of the same gun, same model?
Could be.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, all of our offices around my area are still using Glock, and some of the people I know in other areas are still using Glock, simply because it's more cost effective.
Well, what I understand, Smith & Wesson is doing is they're basically like getting really hot market. What I understand, of course, not my definitive answer, is that I heard that they're going to a lot of big PDs and saying like, okay, well here, we'll outfit you for free. And they're basically donating the pistols, and then all those surrounding areas are like, what do you got now? And they're converting.
Yeah. And then they go, oh, we got this free Smith & Wesson that everybody in our department thinks the trigger sucks on, so we had to buy $85 Apex triggers and hire Smith armorers to put them all in.
Well, not only that, but they got to redo their duty rigs.
Yeah, we had to get rid of all of our web gear, all of our spare magazines, all of our training. Come on, no. If it's happening, and I'm sure Smith & Wesson would love for that to happen, but it ain't happening in large groups, man. It might have happened here and there.
Well, sure, don't use that. I see
there was silence there. That's
No, my fucking dog's barking. On J&G,
dog's barking because he knows we're right.
Yeah, he is. He's a black guy. Here, let me kick him real quick. He'll be an MVP guy. No, I've seen some as low as 369, 379 trade-ins with night sights on them. from different municipalities. Yeah, I don't know where, you know. I don't know if all PDs stamp their or roll stamp their guns or have them roll stamped. Some do, some don't. I imagine San Antonio does.
Correct.
But I've seen Glock 22s used for as low as mid three, like from 353. No, it's 373 to 400. You know, so an influx of them, if you will.
Still doesn't sell us on the U.S.-wide distribution.
Get your Glock 22. I don't know. I love my gun. I mean, I bought mine for 350 though. You know, but guys hurting to sell it.
I don't know. The one I got, I posted it on some local forums today just to see what people had to trade.
I'll trade you a Glock 22 and something else to make it lucrative.
It seems like people are more on the hunt for, you know, the 9mm 17s and the 21s. Oh, and the 19s, obviously.
If I get another Glock that's not just like a super great deal, I would want to get either a 20 or a 30. Because I'm wanting to get into the 10mm realm.
I'd like to get in. I mean, if I had the money, I'd love to as well. In the 20, being that they offer them Flat Dark Earth and OD Green, all dark green as well. You can find them readily in a lot of gun shops right now. It's a great option.
Good guy still with us? Oh no.
No, he
So
has
you
a good sense to bail.
Happy Father's Day to you, brother.
Take it easy, guys. Have a great night and a good weekend.
Hey, Charlotte, man. Take it easy.
I'm going to drop out for a few. I'll catch up with you in the lobby. I assume that's where we're headed here pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm about to end it up pretty soon. But,
well,
quick
since this
ammo
chat has gone
update.
completely downhill and off the rails, I got to run to Fred Meyer's.
all right. Well, it's just
It's unhealthy snack night. If I don't get my kids candy bars soon, I'm going to get beaten.
What about some watermelon since season? Some watermelon. All right, well, let's go sum it up. Let's go and close it out tonight, guys. Thanks for everybody showed up tonight and participated. And apologize for the off rails there. Straighten out the wife, you know what I mean. So
Unacceptable.
Yes, exactly.
Can't believe I witnessed this.
Exactly. So we'll see you next Friday, man. And yeah, tune in.